Dan the Natural Man Show. Hey everybody, it is Saturday morning. And it looks like it's going to be a rainy day where I'm at, but I hope it's pretty where you are. Today I want to talk about the health benefits of the master herb cayenne pepper. It is known as the master herb for many reasons. In fact, a few years ago, scientists found that people living in South America had much fewer heart attacks and strokes than people who live in America and other places. And they determined it was because the people in South America eat hot peppers every day of their lives. And this keeps their blood thin and healthy and a lot less likely to clot and cause strokes and heart attacks. I always keep at least a gallon of cayenne pepper in my herb closet. The way I make this, I use at least, I use 2 pounds of African birdseed cayenne peppers. Put them in my blender with my 100 proof vodka, blend them up, throw them in here, let them sit in here for at least 2 weeks. I shake it every day, and then after 2 weeks I strain it out, and this is what you get. This is some of the most powerful and versatile and cheap medicine that you can make for yourself and your family. Okay, so let's just go over some of the many benefits. Cayenne pepper lowers high blood pressure. If your blood pressure is too low, it'll raise it to the normal level. Cayenne pepper helps regulate blood sugar. Cayenne pepper is an antiseptic. Cayenne pepper can be used to reduce pain in arthritic joints by rubbing it on the joints. My teacher, Dr. Christopher, he used to be on call. He was, the herbal doctor on call. And he said he had at least 50 heart attack patients. If he would get to the house in time and put 1 teaspoon of cayenne powder in a hot cup of water and pour it down the patient's throats, it will stop the heart attack immediately. And this happened in at least 50 cases. And then one of his students, Dr. Schultz, has similar experiences with cayenne pepper stopping strokes and heart attacks in progress. Cayenne pepper will also help reverse hardening of the arteries. Cayenne pepper will, if you're going into shock, if you take cayenne pepper, it will take you out of shock. Cayenne pepper increases the strength of the heart. It feeds the heart. It increases the circulation. If you have poor circulation in your legs, that hurts your feet and legs, taking cayenne pepper on a regular basis will help to improve the circulation and prevent the pain from happening anymore. If you get cold hands and feet, cayenne pepper will fix this. I even saw a study once. There were these rats they were using, and they had genetic high blood pressure. And this has been years ago when I read this, but they had genetic high blood pressure because their body was not able to manufacture a certain enzyme that regulated blood pressure. They gave these rats cayenne pepper, and somehow the cayenne pepper allowed the rats' bodies to start producing the enzyme that they needed, and it fixed their high blood pressure. I mean, this stuff is amazing. Now, I can forget. There's so many things cayenne can do. I brought my list here that I got from Utah. Here's the other things that cayenne is good for. Arteriosclerosis, which is plaque in the arteries. It helps to reduce plaque in the arteries. It's good for arthritis. It's good for asthma, including asphyxia, backache, bleeding. Yes, if you get cut and you're bleeding, cayenne pepper will stop the bleeding. You take the powder, put it on the wound, or your tincture and squirt it in the wound, and you also take it by mouth and it will stop the bleeding. It's good for blood clots. Cayenne pepper is a clot buster. That's why it stops heart attacks. One of the reasons, because it busts clots. It's good for bloody nose. It's a good blood thinner. Cayenne pepper is one of the best blood thinners with no side effects. It also heals ulcers of the stomach. It helps treat cancer. There have been people to treat prostate cancer with cayenne pepper. It's good for chilblains. It's good for chills. It helps to reduce the cholesterol. Cleanses the circulatory system, like I was talking about. It helps to clean plaque out of the arteries. Good for colds and the flu. Good for colitis, congestion, constipation. Cayenne pepper is a good herb to make the bowel start to contract if you're constipated. Good for coughs. It's anti-inflammatory. It's a counter irritant for chronic pain. It's good for cramps. It creates endorphins. It's good for damaged tissues. It's good for debility. It's good for delirium. It's good for diarrhea, dyspepsia, elimination, where I talked about emaciation. It's good for that. Good for emesis, emphysema, fatigue, fever, frostbite, functional sluggishness. It's a very good pick-me-up. Cayenne is good for energy. It's good for gangrene, gout, hair loss, headaches, heart attack, hemorrhaging, hemorrhoids, hiatal hernia, hypothermia, infection. Prevents the spread of infection. It's good for inflammation, good for intestinal mucus. It helps the body produce mucus. That's one of the reasons it helps to cure ulcers. It's good for kidney problems, lethargy, lowers cholesterol, good for lung congestion, good for measles, memory, mouth sensitivity, nausea, neuralgia, night blindness, offensive breath, pains, blocks, numbs. It numbs pain. See, it's there's a chemical the brain releases. It's called the nerve cells release something called substance P. It's a signal it sends to the brain, so the brain can send out the pain signal. Cayenne pepper blocks substance P from being released. That's one of the reasons that stops pain, arthritis, and other kinds of pain. Strengthens the pulse. It's good for rheumatism. It helps increase saliva. It's good for scarlet fever, good for scurvy, good for sore throats, strep throats, good for strokes, tonsillitis, toothache, typhoid fever, vomiting, yellow fever, and wounds. Speeds the healing of wounds. Because what have I talked about before? A lot on this channel. You cannot be healthy unless you have good circulation. Well, cayenne pepper is the #1 herb to improve circulation problems and improve your circulation. So if there's one herb, say for some reason you can only have one herb, or you only want one herb, make it cayenne pepper. The master herb is so versatile. It's so good for so many problems. Cayenne pepper. I take it as preventative every day. So if this video has been helpful, like it and share it. So please subscribe to my channel. Check out my page, danthenaturalman.com. And remember, until next time, keep it natural.